Hey YouTube family and GN subs, Humberto from GrayLaw TV, immigration attorney here from the West Side, Los Angeles. Those of you who are new to the channel, you know what we do is we give you good news. Got a lot of good news today on policy changes that immigration is actually implementing. Awesome stuff. We go through complicated subject matter, we break it down, we make it very simple. And then what we do is we have real cases. Today I'm going to share with you some real cases. Every week, 4 o'clock, this is when we release our videos. 4 o'clock, Wednesday, PST time, that's Cali, baby, California time. And what we do is I spend personally a half hour to answer your questions, all of them. But it's been overwhelming because there's too many viewers now, too many people coming in and watching, which is a great thing. But what I want to do is I really want to answer your questions. So subscribe. I have to limit it to subscriber folks. Afterwards, for the general public, look, you can make a comment. You can post a question in the comment section. I try to answer all of them. Sometimes, again, it's just overwhelming, too many, because I have a practice to run. I have a family to take care of, so only have so many hours. But I do try to answer every question. So leave a comment, but most importantly, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. Like and subscribe. Let's do this, folks. I got a lot to unpack today. All right, first bit of good news. We talked about the time frame in which you can respond to requests for evidence, NOIDs, notice of intent to revoke, notice of intent to rescind, appeals both on normal family and employment-based cases, as well as citizenship appeals. Let's talk about that. Last week, they again extended the time frame to respond to these notices, which is fantastic. Gives you more time, right? So let's break it down for you. Notice of intent to deny, revoke, rescind, request for evidence. You have 60 additional days from the due date, okay? Note a little different for appeals. For N336, that's an appeal from U.S. citizenship naturalization, denial of your citizenship request N400. And it's also an I-290 appeal. Any application form that's denied, and it says on the form, you can appeal by submitting an I-290. You have 60 days from the date the notice was issued, so a little less time. So any of these notices that come up until September 30th, 2021, you're good. You're going to have additional time to respond. That's great news. I'm happy that was extended. There's another bit of good news information that we may actually get. So this is a deferred action for non-skilled, essential, undocumented workers. What do I mean by that? All right, so let's unpack this. DACA is deferred action for childhood arrivals. You remember what that is, right? The executive branch has full authority to issue deferred action to illegals, and this has been around, folks, since 1975. It's nothing new. Well, last week in Nevada, labor organization wanted to beef up the rights of its workers. They saw that employers were taking advantage of undocumented workers. So how do we kind of resolve this? What they do is they proposed what's called DALE, D-A-L-E. That's the acronym. Deferred Action for Labor Enforcement. Purpose? To have undocumented people come out and say, look, these are the abuses that's happening in the workplace, and let's see if we can address that. They've even thought about extending the U visa. We talked about that in previous segments. They talked about extending this to labor organization and undocumented workers so that if the abuse by the employer is egregious, guess what? They will get a U visa to become a witness to testify against the employer in a criminal proceeding. That's what the U visa is all about. This may be happening. It's going up to Biden. Let's see if he signs it as an executive order. Another bit of good news. Biden holds a massive swearing-in ceremony. I don't know if you saw this last week on the news. He is trying to encourage individuals to apply for citizenship in the United States. He wants to make it streamlined. What he's done, he's reversed all of the Trump's policies Goodbye. Remember that tough exam that he was trying to implement? He's trying to slow up the process. It was taking 1.5 years, almost 2 years to become a citizen. Gone. Okay? Biden has done away with it. He's wanting to have ceremonies, the swearing-in ceremonies, after you pass your interview, the swearing-in ceremony where it's wonderful. He wants it to be visible. He wants to have them at massive, public parks, post offices. He wants the public to see. He wants them televised. He wants to promote citizenship in the U.S. So if you're on the fence, you have not filed for citizenship, do so now. It's going to be streamlined. Those applications that were filed in my office this year, January 2021, it's taking 2 to 3 months to get your appointment. And you're sworn in on the same day or 2 days after. It's actually incredible. So do it. Do it right now. It's a good time. It's a positive tone for USCIS. They want to give you the citizenship, so get at it. So one final change at the border, they are lifting Title 42. So that was the policy and the implementation of an old law that said those who were coming in illegally could not apply for asylum. And what did they do? They used the pandemic as an excuse. Biden's getting rid of that, okay? He is keeping in sensible policies for COVID, right? Travel restrictions, etc. But in terms of those who want to come in and seek asylum, back open. Great positive policy for the border from the south here, California. I'm happy to see that. That's very important. All right, let's talk about some real cases. I give you real cases I'm working on in my office. You will see policy changes here on these cases. So this is a joint I-751 waiver of the final interview. What I did in this case, they requested evidence. I responded substantially. This was filed October 2019. They did the RFE this year, sometime in April of 2021. So from 2019 to 2021, I provided a slew of documentation, tons of documentation. So when they got it, they looked at it, approved it without an interview. So they're still waiving final interviews, even for these marriage cases, folks. So adjudication of 3 cases, EAD, folks, check it out. Remember, I told you a couple of videos ago what they had planned to do was issue EADs for 2 years as opposed to 1 year. I got 3 last week. Look at the time on them. They're issuing them 2-year increments. Great news, folks. Thanks so much for watching GrayLaw TV. Click below, like, and subscribe. Please subscribe. We're getting close to that 50,000 mark, baby. We're going to do it 4 million views. We love it. Thank you so much for your support, and we'll talk at you soon.